my loves, welcome back to my channel. So today we're actually diving into a pick a card, which I have not done in a while, but I'm really feeling the call to bring the pick a cards back. It's Leo season, so we're having a look at the inner child. We're connecting with the inner child. We're seeing what it is that the little person inside of you really wants to bring out and bring to the surface at the moment. What kind of healing we can bring in and what kind of balance and excitement we can bring in for the rest of this beautiful Leo season. There's not long left, I know, but let's get in touch with our inner children anyway. So for this reading, instead of picking objects, we're going to pick a cartoon. So for my 90s kids, you're gonna love this. We're gonna pick between Angry Beavers, group 2 being Cat Dog, and group 3 being Are Real Monsters. So I'm gonna put all three little cartoon pictures up for you guys to sort of chill with for a little bit and to vibe on, and then pick your cartoon and I will meet you guys in the timestamps. Also, you will have a channeled song as well, so make sure you check that out. And now let's get into what messages your inner child has for you over this Leo season, babe cakes. Hello group 1, welcome. If you chose Angry Beavers, this is your reading. All I can hear in my head is doo 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 doo. Seriously, Angry Beavers was like my favorite show ever as a kid, so I vibe with you guys. Alright, the first message that I was getting for you guys, I haven't pulled any cards yet, but the message that I was getting from your inner child instantly was this feeling of we need more excitement, we need more fun, we need more playfulness, we need more creativity, we need to express ourselves. It feels as though there's almost like this feeling with you guys, group 1, where it's like your inner child needs you to trust that you can go on adventures, you know? It feels as though maybe you guys had a childhood that was very you know, sheltered is the word that I'm hearing. Like it was kind of, you know, you weren't allowed to go and do things that maybe other kids in your neighborhood could, or, you know, you just weren't really allowed to express maybe parts of yourself. Maybe you had to be stifled. Maybe you were one of those children that was told to be seen and not heard, you know, and you're a very loud person. So it feels as though your inner child really has a message for you, group 1, that has you needing to really open up to your own desire and your own excitement. And I feel like there's this creative silliness in you that you had to stifle away a lot as a child, and so it feels as though this adult version of you that's connecting with your inner child is saying there needs to be this silliness, and it's not actually a bad thing to be silly, it's actually a joy. So the cards that we have coming out for you, we have Inner Voice, the first card, and it says, I connect with my inner self and stay true to me. So that's definitely a message that is coming out for you guys. I think what this is really bringing up is this importance to really trust. See how he's literally got his cup phones and he's talking to himself. He doesn't have his cup phone and, you know, he's not talking to anyone else. He's listening to himself. So it feels as though you might have been a kid that was actually, you know, it's giving me single child, like maybe you had siblings, but you guys had an age gap, or there was a difference and you didn't really have, I feel like, the support as a child that you needed in order to sort of grow and to try new things. I feel like there's this feeling as an adult where you might be a little bit afraid to try new things, or try things that you know that you're not good at, or try things that are going to make you feel a little bit silly. It feels as though there could have been an emphasis on needing to like be the best that you could be in order to, you know, belong. We have the card of belonging coming out. So definitely your inner child has a very strong connection to family and to the roots. It says, I am true to myself and loved as I am. So it's very important for your inner child to be listening to yourself. Your inner child really has this need to be heard in its own right, you know? I feel as though maybe you know, this is giving the energy. Maybe you were an only child, or maybe you actually had a lot of siblings, and those siblings sort of took away some of the energy of you being able to sort of express yourself and to be heard in the family. We have live and learn coming out as well. It says, I am patient with myself and energized by learning. So it does feel as though there's an emphasis coming through for you guys. This message from your inner child that's saying it's okay to be bad at something. It's okay to not have everything worked out, and it's okay to, you know, stumble and hurt yourself and to need support. I feel as though there was this academic, not even feel like academic, it doesn't have to have been like book smart or anything like that, but this maybe expectation in your family growing up as a child that you were meant to show up in a certain way, and so you sort of stuck to that. And you, even with this Be Studious card underneath the at the bottom of the deck, sorry, it says, I welcome new ideas. And it's very much this feeling of like, you know, being taught that this is the way that it's supposed to be. We learn specific things from specific places, say education. We go to school and we get a good degree, and then we finish school, and then we go to uni. And then we, you know, go into the workforce and we have a successful career path. This feels as though there was almost this emphasis on your inner child to like fit into a box that you as an adult cannot fit into, and that even as a child you couldn't actually fit into. And so in order to feel as though you actually belong in the world, it's almost like this feeling of needing to create your own sense of family through going out and exploring the world, and through going out and exploring different avenues in life and trying new things and having new experiences. I think the emphasis that your inner child is really trying to bring out for you is that it's so important to let yourself just like, you know, have a little bit of fun and be silly and to play. We have the Coyote coming out for you, intelligence and unpredictability. And I think that might be something that your inner child maybe struggles with, because this unpredictability feels as though, you know, you were taught or you grew up with this mentality that everything was supposed to go exactly as you planned it, or everything was supposed to, you know, be a certain way. And it feels with this Coyote that, you know, the stars had a different plan for you. You know, the stars didn't align in the way that you thought that they would when you were a kid, or they didn't align in the way that mum and dad told you they were supposed to. It feels as though this is you really sort of like looking out on the horizon and going, I think that there is more that is meant for me, you know? We have Rabbit at the bottom of the deck that says approval and sensitivity. So it definitely feels as though for some of you guys, there was this really big emphasis throughout childhood on approval and needing to be liked and needing to be, you know, ticking all the boxes. It feels like it's giving me very Virgo energy. Very much like ticking the boxes, looking the best, trying the best, not wanting to be seen as, you know, incapable at anything. And I feel like that could be like wounds that your parents actually have that you've inherited. This inner capacity to see themselves as anything but being, you know, completely brilliant at something. It's very difficult for some people to actually accept being bad at things, and I feel like that's something that your inner child's really trying to emphasize, is that it's okay to suck. It's okay to not be an amazing painter on the first day that you start painting, you know? It's really giving me this like need to like strive for being actually bad at things. Like this is you needing to actually go out and suck and get used to not being great at stuff. I feel like there's such like a strong emphasis on like, I'm not going to do things unless I know that I'm good at them. And I feel like the message from your inner child is really asking you to do things without being good at them. We have the Jaguar. It says charisma and shamanic gifts. So there's this really strong communication that's coming forth from you. Like it feels as though you're someone that's really funny. You've got a really great sense of humor. You've got a really strong voice. It feels as though you're someone that has so much life and energetic. Like it's just giving me energy. It's giving me this like really strong, passionate and excitable vibe. But there's this almost like push and pull between you allowing yourself to truly be that with this inner voice, and it feels like you need to actually live and to learn how to actually be that. Because I feel as though you're someone who feels like, you know, when you're going in your own path and going in your own direction, you feel like you don't actually have any fucking idea what you're doing. And you know, it's easier for you to follow in the path that someone else has laid out for you, but the thing that your inner child is really, really emphasizing is how important it is for you to walk through this doorway and to walk into this version of you that's actually going to be okay with, you know, being a little bit banged up, and that's going to be okay with being silly, and is going to be actually energized by the learning process. This Jaguar is saying, you know, you have something really special, really beautiful, and really, really strong that other people love to see. You know, it's a really strong energy. It's a really potent, I think it's just like you have this vibe that other people like are really drawn to, and this optimistic outlook and this positivity that people are really drawn to. But I feel as though people wouldn't realize that you're actually a lot more hard on yourself, and you're a lot more like studious and disciplined and hard ass than people wouldn't realize. People think you're really silly and playful, which you are, but you have a side of you that other people don't really see, and that side of you is like, no, it's this belonging. It's this, I don't feel like I fit in unless I feel like I'm being productive and I'm working hard and I'm making shit happen in a way that feels like everybody will accept me, you know? So it's really, a lot of it is about acceptance and approval. Your inner child really seeks approval, and with this King of Cups, it could come from the father. You know, it could be that your inner child really sought approval from dad, or it really sought emotional approval. It feels like with this Chariot and the King of Cups, your inner child is really emphasizing that your emotions actually hold the key to your purpose and to your path. And I feel as though your path is asking you to go on an adventure. You need to leave the house. You need to go on the plane. You need to go on the trip. You need to go and do the thing. And you need to like take yourself on, like literally guided by the stars, listening to your own intuition, listening to your heart. You also have the Raven out here, magic and destiny. And so the Raven is essentially, it's looked at as a witch's familiar. It's looked at as a spirit guide that is literally here to guide us in the direction of our path. And with charisma, shamanic gifts, magic and destiny, and intelligence and unpredictability coming out, you need to be okay with the unpredictable. You need to be okay with not having everything worked out before and ahead of time. It's very much your inner child needs to learn to like let go and to go with the flow, and to be in that flow but not be freaking out and, you know, looking for stability and looking for all these things. It's about opening yourself up to more potential and possibilities, and an openness that you didn't even know, you know, you had access to before. It really is an expansion of your mindset. And I feel like Leo season is really powerful because we're having that beautiful Jupiter trine to the sun, and I feel like that Jupiter trine to the sun is a really nice opportunity for you guys, Group 1, to really get clear on what makes you feel happy and excited and joyful in life. And with the Pioneer archetype coming out, it's definitely about you pioneering a new path and you going for something in your family lineage that hasn't been done before. You know, you're doing something that no one else in your bloodline has done, and so that's really uncomfortable, that's really intense, it's really strong. And so breaking out of these boundaries and breaking out of these boxes that we've been placed in, it's going to take time, and it's going to be difficult, but you have a lot of guidance along the way. I'm seeing these birds are surrounding this bird house as literally being like little angels, non-physical friends and guides that you have, really trying to help you get through this and to, you know, help patch you up through this situation, because it feels as though your confidence feels a little battered and bruised because you haven't done this before. You haven't let yourself do anything this crazy and big and, you know, bold for you. You know what I mean? It feels like it's a bold move for you to take this trip, or to go on this adventure, or to start this business, or to go down this new path. We have the magical child coming out. The light attributes is seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. The shadow attributes is pessimism, depression, and a disbelief in miracles, believing that energy and action are not required for growth. So really this Leo season and this opportunity that's coming in for you through your inner child is really about connecting with the magic of life again, and connecting with what actually brings you so much excitement. It's about passion, and with the alchemist at the bottom of the deck, it is about alchemizing, you know, literally lead into gold. Like what was a shit situation, it's turning it into something that is really beautiful and has potential for so much life, making lemons out of lemonade. We have teacher archetype. The light attribute is ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. The shadow attribute is manipulating or abusing students, teaching negative skills and destructive traits. So it's really important. Your inner child is really asking for you to step into this role of teaching others and teaching yourself how to actually walk on this own path. And look, she's literally got a globe here with all these different like little mini globes coming out. So it's really about you being taught, I suppose, by the world and being taught by life. I feel like at this point, your inner child is trying to say, you've learned so much. It's time to take what you've learned and pioneer a new path. It's time to pioneer a new way of moving forward. The pioneer says, light attribute, passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. So, this hasn't been done before, so give yourself a break, give yourself a moment to breathe, and give yourself compassion as you move through this, because it's not easy to do something that's never been done. Shadow attribute is compulsive need to keep moving on. So there is definitely this need that you have that's always pushing you to change things up and to do things a little bit differently. The main thing is being certain within yourself about whether these changes that you're making are coming from a feeling of, true excitement, true belief, true intuitive knowing that this feels right, or if it comes from a compulsive need to keep trying different things and keep pushing and doing different things purely because you don't like where you're at with maybe not being good at something. It's giving me the energy of someone who doesn't want to like progress to the next level of something. It's like becoming a green belt in martial arts and knowing that you have the potential to make it all the way to a black belt, but instead you give up at the green belt and then you go start pole dancing instead because you're like, well, I got that far, but now I'm going to go do something else. So it is being able to commit with things, with that teacher especially, maybe even attracting in a teacher or attracting in somebody that is going to help you to pioneer this forward and receiving that sort of help, even opening up to spirit as being a guide and being a teacher on this path and you accepting that. So I'm going to leave this reading there, my loves. I hope that you enjoyed that. Your inner child really has a lot to say when it comes to, can we just have some fun? Can we let our hair down? It's feeling like it's giving me a mullet, like party, business up front, party in the back, like knowing how to do both. I feel as though that upbringing of being able to be really rigid also gives you a superpower in knowing when to be like really tough and disciplined and rigid and when to be like a flowing magician, So I love you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed that. I'd like to thank your angels, your ancestors, your higher self, your spirit guides, all the beautiful benevolent beings that are surrounding you and I in all moments for allowing me to receive and to deliver this message to you. Make sure you check out your channeled songs. If you want to book a personal tarot or astrology reading with me, you can do that down below through the link in my description. I love you guys so much and I will see you in the next reading. See you guys. Okay, welcome group 2. If you chose cat dog, then this is going to be your reading. So, okay, group 2. Feels like you guys have some habits that need cleaning up. I feel as though your inner child is really talking about how we might have a few things that need to shift and change up. I feel as though there is maybe this need at the moment to take better care of the self. That's something I was getting. Take better care of the physical body. It feels as though you might be going through some, maybe not so much health things, but just shifts and changes in the way that you're wanting to look or your aesthetic or just you wanting to feel different. It feels like there's a shift in how you're going about what you care about, what you invest in, the time that you're spending on things. I feel as though your inner child is asking for, maybe you weren't someone who grew up in a family of people that took the best physical care of themselves. There might have been a lot of sporadic, sort of health habits is what I'm getting, which sort of sounds a bit random, but my dog wants to go outside 1 second. It's kind of giving me this feeling, this energy of like you needing to like take charge of your health. You needing to take charge of taking care of your body, taking care of yourself now that you're an adult. So the first card that we had is actually Bend and Be, which says, I adapt, shift, and grow. I am unbreakable. So this is my yoga card. This is my yogi card. So health is definitely coming out. Oh my God, we have self-care underneath that. So I look after myself, body, mind, and soul. So definitely your inner child is saying there is definitely this push to keep taking better care of yourself, and yoga, movement, getting out and about, getting out in nature, especially exercising outside. I am seeing someone literally doing runs outside, running along the beach, doing sprints on the beach. I'm even seeing Venice Beach, where they have the muscle beach or whatever that's called. Like I don't even know, someone must live in Venice. But getting out and doing that sort of stuff, really, really important for you. You also have create at the bottom of the deck. My creativity flows freely, and it's literally a chef. And you also have another card with resilience, and it's another bloody chef. I learn and grow at every opportunity. So you guys might be, you know, learning to cook. You guys might be learning to take better care of yourself when it comes to food. We have You Are Enough. Literally, he's feeding birds birdseed. I overflow with the energy of creation. So I feel as though your inner child is really emphasizing your food. Your inner child is really talking about food and health and how, like, routine, self-care sort of stuff. And then we have natural connection. I am bright and a blossoming being. So what your inner child is really trying to bring up for you in this Leo season is the fact that you need to be outside, the fact that you need to be getting in that sunshine and taking all that stuff in on a daily basis to be your best. I feel as though there's this emphasis on realizing that your values, your connection to God is actually through your physical body. It's actually through the way you feel. So if you're not feeling your best, if you're not getting enough rest, if you're not eating well enough, if you're eating like shit and going to bed late and waking up late and trying to, like, you know, then do a workout and then achieve your goals, you're starting to realize that you don't have enough energy in you. You don't have enough wherewithal to actually be able to create. We have beautiful soul underneath that. I see the beauty in me every day. So the message from your inner child is really about seeing the beauty in yourself every single day, because I feel like you guys might not have had parents that saw the beauty in their health. You might have grown up around people, or, you know, maybe you're even experiencing parents now that as they're getting older, you're seeing how their bodies are deteriorating because they made choices when they were younger. And so certain choices, or they did or didn't make certain choices, you know what I mean? And so now you're getting to an age where it's like, I need to start actually taking care of my physical body, because I don't want to end up feeling like shit. I really want to end up, you know, I want to feel unbreakable. I want to feel as though my body is, you know, moving with the time instead of getting stuck and caught up. It's giving me like someone seizing up because they're not moving and doing enough exercise and physically getting outside. So definitely get the fuck outside. You know, you guys chose cat dog. Cat dog, it's a blend between a cat and a bloody dog. So, you know, both animals, go outside. Basically, go outside. Like, resilience, you are, you're on this path of learning to take care of yourself, and it's hard because you weren't shown all this, you know? It comes with, like, mishaps, and maybe some weeks and some months you're really, really good at, like, maintaining this balance and this flow, and other weeks you go back into past patterns and past ways of being. But that's a part of the learning process. We have the Hierophant coming out for you guys, so it is about commitment. It's about committing to a new lifestyle. It's very much about lifestyle, and it's very much about how you're I feel like you're needing to feel inspired by life again. You're needing to feel inspired by your lifestyle. You're needing to feel inspired by the things that are going to sort of be a part of your day. I feel like for a while there, you probably felt really, you know, it's this feeling of having lost my zest for life. And I feel as though with the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck, your zest for life is going to come through this intuitive, playful knowing and this intuitive, like, creative expression for how you're actually taking care of yourself. And that sounds really weird, but it feels like the way I'm trying to sort of explain this is like getting really creative about your actual lifestyle. So instead of looking at all these people and going, okay, well, that person works this amount of hours a day and does this, and it's not about looking at what everyone else is doing. It's about really taking stock at what feels right for you. We have the Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups with the Six of Cups at the bottom of the deck, and then we have the Five of Cups as well. So your inner child is definitely emphasizing a feeling of feeling like there's a sense of loss, because it feels as though you've maybe watched your parents grow up and lose an ability to be able to be healthy and active, and you've watched their sort of life quality deteriorate. And so I feel as though your inner child is really trying to emphasize this need to not repeat the same mistakes, you know, to not do the same thing. It's really important that, you know, we progress and we learn from the mistakes of other people around us. And so I feel as though this Queen of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles is about growing, you know, it's even growing your own food, gardening, it's giving me very much Taurus energy, you know, focusing on nature, natural connections. It's putting a real emphasis on being able to sort of like sustain yourself and build yourself in a really healthy way. And I feel like for you guys, that looks like food prepping. It looks like cooking your meals, you know, food prepping. It looks like food prepping. It looks like you actually planning out what it is that you're going to be eating. It looks like creating systems about how you're going to be taking care of your body from now on, you know? It's just like not being really structured and rigid. I mean, it's not being really rigid, but it is being structured. So let's get a bit more. We have the anaconda, camouflage and imbalance. So your inner child is definitely saying that there is a bit of an imbalance that's going on with you at the moment where you're not, it just doesn't feel as though your body is in the health that it wants to be. I feel like there's more health that can come in for you. Then we have otter, which is joy and companionship. So that's the thing. I feel like this anaconda feels like really, it's kind of like really a dark energy. It's feeling like not so much like you've got a dark energy around you, but more so that when you don't take care of your body and when you don't allow yourself to actually feel loved by your own inner child, you know, if you're not actually loving on your own inner child and your own inner child wants to take physical care of itself, that's leaving you feeling really imbalanced. That's leaving you feeling really like stuck and weird and a little bit like left out in the cold. And this otter card is saying like, you know, there's actually a lot of joy that you can find in meeting other people that are also into the same things as you know? So it's like maybe going to a yoga class and meeting friends at the yoga class, or going and volunteering at an animal shelter and meeting people there. But basically meeting people who are also on this journey of like regaining health, and that health, I just heard health is wealth. So I think your inner child is trying to emphasize, you know, it's important the people that you're around. So if you're spending time with people who don't give a shit about the way they feel and don't give a shit about their bodies and things like that, pay attention to that, because you're going to age with them. You know, you're going to be in the same energy as them. So it's really important for you to be paying attention to the people that are around you. We have advocate. Light attribute inspires you to put compassion into action. So compassion for yourself, taking good care of yourself. Self-care actually is compassion. It's self-compassion. So I feel like it's time for you to stop being so hard on yourself, and it's time for you to start loving on yourself through compassion, and not doing this health and lifestyle change through a rigidity and being like, well, I need to do this, and doing it in this like slave whipping like style fashion. It's about doing it with love and compassion and excitement. Like I said, it's about being excited about the lifestyle that you can create, and sitting here and realizing, you know, even if you don't work for yourself, even if you don't have the ideal job that you want at the moment, if you're not in the career thing that you want, so what if you have to give away 8 hours of your day, 5 days a week to something that you don't like? What can you build around that that's actually going to help you move towards a life that you truly want? What is going to be something that feels like it's truly bringing joy to your soul? Because you're needing to find a way to balance this shit and to create a system that's going to create that in your life and to help you find that balance in life. We have the hedonist archetype coming out. Inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. Shadow attributes, pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. So I feel as though you guys definitely grew up maybe in a family where people overindulged, people loved food, maybe people love to sit around. It's just sort of one of those energies where you're needing to do something different than the way you were taught. You're needing to grow out of this way that you were sort of, you know, it's even given me like maybe you grew up eating sausages, steak and chips and eggs as your dinner, and now that you're, you know, in your late 30s, you're like, maybe I should probably start eating vegetables. You know, it's just this vibe of, look, she's even holding carrots and she's eating fruit. So your inner child is screaming for fruit and for carrots, you know, screaming for healthy food. You have so much about food and flowers and nature coming out here. So gardening is really important. And also, you know, if you guys have space to put a bird bath outside or to put bird seed, you know, in the garden and watch birds coming, that's really feeling like a thing. This Queen of Cups is saying like your inner child is really beautiful and creative and really has this love for nature and love for life. And I feel as though your parents or your family maybe didn't have that zest and love for life that you do. So you need to understand that you were born to the family that you were to show you maybe some of the choices that you're not meant to make as an adult. So accept yourself as the anomaly. Do this hedonist some justice and celebrate the beauty in yourself without, you know, overindulging and doing it too much, you know. This hedonist is about being in this energy of, you know, exercising and having that balance between beautiful food and exercising. And it's funny because all this shit seems so simple. But we forget that it's literally fundamental to human health, happiness, and longevity. If you're not taking care of yourself every single day on a daily basis, you will end up fucked. And like a lot of this reading, like it's really hitting me because I am someone who has parents that are not that old and who both are completely munted. In Australian, that essentially means they're fucked up. So, you know, they're not in a space to be able to even go to the beach. My dad's a surfer. I've never seen him surf in the past 20 years. I'm 30, 25 years, and I'm 30. So, you know, taking care of your body is the most important thing. Yoga, 100% of the way, even if you don't like, you know, sort of the yoga aspect for the spiritual thing, just stretching is important, you know, getting our bodies feeling like there's energy flowing through. That's the best part about yoga, that's what it does. It gets your prana moving. It's your energy moving, that life force energy. So your life force is calling on you for activity. It's calling on you for healthy food and for food prep and all this sort of like, you know, Virgo shit. It's really calling for you to have that strength. Now, one more card wants to come out for you. We have family and stability with the koala. So taking care of yourself actually helps you find a feeling of stability. Your inner child feels really stable when you're in health, when you're taking care of your health and when you're prioritizing your health. So there's a really big, you know, emphasis on just really being in this energy of taking care of yourself in a way that feels as though maybe you weren't shown. Like I literally just keep sort of repeating myself, but it is this feeling of like having to show yourself the way and to create a new version of stability in your own life and family that was different than the way that you were taught. So my loves, I'm going to I'm going to leave this reading there. I do hope that you enjoyed it. I'd like to thank your angels, your ancestors, your higher self, your spirit guides, all the beautiful benevolent beings that are surrounding you and I in all moments for allowing me to receive and to deliver this beautiful reading, and a special shout out to your inner child. If you enjoyed this, please do give the video a like because it helps to spread these readings to more beautiful souls. If you want to book a personal tarot or astrology reading with me, you can do that down below through the link in my description. Make sure you check out your channeled song, and I will see you guys in the next reading. I love you. Peace. Hello group 3, welcome to your reading. If you chose Are Real Monsters, then this is your group. So, first message, my loves, your inner child is really, really strongly saying that it is time to make this shit happen. It's time to do the thing. Joyful expression. First card. It is safe to let go and have fun. Your inner child is really ready to be the shining star that you are. I feel as though you're the group where your inner child, you knew that you were a star, you knew that you had something to give, but it's taken a little bit for you to get enough confidence to get to the point where you realize, okay, I really need to do this shit. I have no choice. We have fertile foundation. I feel as though you guys are finding so much joy and so much stability and so much growth in finally allowing yourself to like believe in this dream. I feel as though you guys are starting to believe in this capability that you have, this potential that you have, this charisma. It's feeling like you guys have really got this vibe about you that just cannot be duplicated. It cannot be, no one else has it, you know. We have pace yourself. So it's feeling as though this energy is coming through of you realizing that you've gotten to a certain point where you realize that your inner child actually had the right idea the whole time. And it was basically, holy shit, yeah, I'm fucking fantastic and I just want to shine like the star that I am. And I want to find the deepest joy and I just want to love life and live in just this happiness. And so with Pace Yourself coming out, it says, I move at my own pace in a healthy, loving way. So, you know, I feel as though your inner child is trying to emphasize that you going for this success 100% is the path, but you don't need to do it in a way that other people have done it before. You know, just because other entrepreneurs or other actors or other artists have had to grind their asses out to get to where they wanted to be, doesn't mean that you have to do it in the exact same way. If you don't want the same result as them, why do you have to do it the same way? If you're not looking to build $1 billion business, why are you making yourself think that you need to act like someone who's building $1 billion business? So it's really important for you your inner child's emphasizing that you need to get clear on what it is that you're building, what it looks like for you, not anybody else. What does it look like for you? What is that true desire, and how can you start to, like, I feel it feels like this energy of, like, how can you start to build it by attracting it? And by attracting it, I mean, how can you start to put one foot in front of the other, keep doing what you're doing, keep building, but instead of feeling like you're needing to, like, keep charging and making things happen, how can you actually slow down and be more in an energy of allowing things to come to you rather than you going for everything? You know, this is literally someone who has every ball, they're trying every sport on the planet. Instead of just pacing themselves and doing one thing at a time, they're trying to do everything at once. So you're really being asked, your inner child is saying, in order to build this fertile foundation, in order to grow this carrot, we need to be doing one thing at a time. We need to get out of the multitasking. It's time to be focusing on one thing so that you can actually move the ball ahead, you know? We have bend and be. I adapt, shift, and grow. I am unbreakable. So this is a similar sort of message. You're getting similar cards to the cat dog group, and so this is a message that's coming through about how are you taking care of your physical body. Are you pushing too hard and so you're creating imbalance in your own health or imbalance in your relationships? It's really feeling like your inner child is emphasizing how important it is for you to give yourself breaks and to give yourself moments to tune in with your physical body and to go for a run and get some of this energy out. You have two cards of essentially athletics. You have yoga and you have literally sport. So sport, yoga, going outside, doing things, running. Running is definitely coming up. Even gardening, though. It's feeling like you guys might have also felt called to choose group 2. So if you did, that's confirmation. But it's definitely giving me this energy of, like, needing to understand that just because you realize that you want to go for this thing now, and just because you might have put it off for a while, doesn't mean you have to, like, make up for lost time and get it all worked out now and get it all done now. You are enough, It's okay to be where you are. It's okay to sort of not have, everybody looking at you at the moment and going, wow, look at them. Look at how successful they are. Look at all this, You guys place so much emphasis on how other people perceive you that your inner child is begging you to actually listen to your own perception. Your inner child is begging you to actually be like, you know what? I'm just going to do me, and I'm going to stay in my own lane. You have the Judgment card coming out. So literally, judgment is such a major thing for you, and your inner child is really emphasizing that the more you allow judgment to be in the forefront of your mind, the more you're being owned by other people's opinions, the more you're not allowing yourself to actually be who you're meant to be in this life. I feel like there's a resurrection and a rebirth to dreams and desires that you had since childhood, and these dreams and desires are about you shining. And, like, for some of you guys, it might be, you want to start a business, or you want to start trying to go for something creatively. Maybe you're a dancer and you want to start, showcasing that. And maybe you're an exotic dancer, and that's really something that makes you feel, like, uncomfortable about because maybe people in the past would have judged you. So this Judgment and this Ace of Wands, your inner child is really trying to say that there is a spark of joy here, and that if you can overcome the judgment and if you can overcome the perceptions that you have in your head of what other people think about you and what you're doing, you're going to find that you have so much creative expression, creative excitement. There's a lot of creativity that's wanting to, like, shine through you, but it feels as though there's something that you need to, like, let go of with this Six of Wands and with this Wheel of Fortune. There's this need to let go of this mentality that says that everybody else knows better than me. This mentality of just paying attention to like shit that you don't need to, really. With this Wheel of Fortune, this is you coming into, like, a shift in fate, this is a destiny point. The Wheel of Fortune talks about when we reach a point in life when it's a destined moment for change, and there's a good chance that you have some really strong astrological stuff going on. So if I were to look at your birth chart, I'd be like, okay, yeah, this is why destiny is calling you into your power right now. We have the Six of Wands also coming out with the Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck in the reverse. So you're needing to deal with the part of you that doesn't want, that is actually afraid of success. It feels like with this Ten of Wands in reverse and with Temperance in reverse as well, you have a fear of your own success because there is this fear of having too many people looking at you. I feel as though maybe you have like some past life wounding or a childhood wounding around your peers and around other people. Maybe you were bullied in high school, and it feels as though this has left you with this Page of Pentacles in reverse, this feeling like whatever I plant, the seeds will not grow, because I'm actually even afraid for the seed to grow, because I don't want people to be judging me. I don't want people to be looking at me and condemning me and telling me that I'm not, you know, doing the right thing. I feel like you guys have this need to please, and I feel as though your inner child is almost begging you to let go. I'm hearing begging you, put your loving hand out, darling. So that song is a song that always makes me think of Step Up. And so some of you guys really want to dance. So you need to let yourself dance. You need to let your hair down. And even if it's not having a career in dance, it's about letting yourself actually finally go to the dance class that you've been thinking about since you were 10. You know, it's letting yourself finally go and try the sports thing, you know, go try soccer for the first time. It's about going out and trying these things and having fun. His hat literally says sport. Trying yoga. It's about trying new things and not being afraid of the judgment that you're going to get because of that, you know? It's like the first message that I gave to group 1, which was be okay with being bad at stuff sometimes, you know? You have to suck in order to get good. And so the Six of Wands really has this energy of you needing to understand that your healing actually lies in your acceptance that you were always meant to be successful, that you were always meant to be someone who shone and who shined and who is shining. You're a shiner. It is what it is, you know? You cannot help that you were born on this earth to shine. Not everyone was meant to. That's why I love astrology so much. I can literally look at your chart and go, you are meant to shine and be seen. You are not, you know? And it's like that. Sorry guys, my camera ran out of battery and then I started filming again and realized halfway through that I wasn't even filming. So joy. I can't remember what I was saying, but I pulled the Addict card for you and I pulled the Femme Fatale card for you. So it feels as though basically what I was saying is you do have a little bit of an addiction to this part of you that kind of believes it's not good enough. This part of you that is really stubbornly saying, I want to keep my success away from me. I feel as though you're trying to push joy away from you because it's almost like terrifying to your soul to even, or to your spirit, to your inner child, to believe in yourself, because I feel as though you guys were so confronted by other people. With the Femme Fatale card, it says, highlights the erotic energy of the feminine, opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. So you guys were rejected as children, or you were rejected in a past life, you were rejected by your peers. And so it feels as though success is really scary because you feel as though people are going to all be staring at you. Everyone's going to be looking at you. You feel like you're too far on display. There's too much being seen. The shadow attributes is inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money, and power. So the thing is, it could be that you feel as though the only way to be, you came into this life with this feeling like the only way to be happy is to have money and to have resources. And it feels as though you're coming to a point where it's like, you know what actually is the fundamental core of my joy is literally being able to follow my passion. It's being able to feel excited by life and passionate and deeply connected to something bigger than what I thought I was doing. You know, I feel as though there's this kind of need. And when I say bigger than what you thought you were doing, I feel like not big in the sense that you have this, like, I need to save the world. It feels big in this sense that I have this joy that fulfills my soul and I have to follow it. And it feels really, really big to me because it's something, even if it's small, like it's as simple as starting dance classes, doing something that you've been afraid to do, like belly dance classes that you've wanted to do your whole life but you've been too scared to do. That seems like a small, simple thing, but it's actually not, because your mind, your inner child has made it to be such a big deal. And so it's really important. And like I said with the dancing thing anyway, like with Femme Fatale coming out, this is about you needing to accept that even these people are naked. Not everyone's going to accept you. Not everyone's going to accept your expression. Not everyone's going to accept the way that you find joy in this life. But some people will fuck with it in a way that you cannot even begin to understand. The Six of Wands, you have to be the person that is up on the pedestal. That's who you are. You know, you were made to shine. It's giving me that quote that says, for a lot of people, we're not actually afraid of shining ourselves. We're afraid of outshining others. And so You know, it feels as though you have this fear of like looking better than other people, or looking better than the people around you, or the people that you grew up around. And for some reason, there's this real big need for you to stop being so addicted to this toxic mentality that keeps you feeling stuck. The addict says, light attribute helps you recognize and confront an addictive behavior. The shadow attributes is compromises integrity and honesty, and allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. So there's this authority that you're giving away when you're giving your power away, and you're saying, I don't deserve to have success. I don't deserve to have this beautiful, joyful life that feels like it's so fucking exciting to me. You know, you stifle yourself. We have the spider, connection and shadow. So there's definitely a shadow that is coming out around you. Look, with connections, the shadow of connections, you feeling as though, you know, maybe you're going to get caught up in somebody else's web, or it's feeling like, with this spider, like, maybe you feel as though you scare people. Maybe you feel as though you actually make people uncomfortable with your actual genuine expression, because maybe you're really intense. Maybe you speak really loudly or something. You know, there's something about you that you feel as though is too much for other people. And then we have the firefly with simplicity and childhood coming out. So you felt like you're too much since childhood. Your inner child feels like they were too much. It feels as though you were probably the time that was told to be seen and not heard, to sit down and shut up and all that sort of stuff. So with simplicity and childhood coming out in the firefly, you're really needing to follow in this intuitive hunch, this gut feeling, this light. You know, it feels as though there's this light that is propelling you forward, this dream, this goal, this thing. It's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's this darkness all around you, and it's like, no, keep focusing on this one thing, this one light at the end of the tunnel, and pace yourself in the achievement of that thing. Just because you realize now that you actually want it, and that you actually deserve it, and that you're actually able and capable of having it, doesn't mean you need to make it happen overnight. You're not trying to make up for lost time. Everything that happened was happening in divine alignment. So trust that everything has happened perfect so that you could reach this success. Because, you know, if you were even to reach the success that you're wanting to reach now when you were younger, you wouldn't have been able to hold it and have the capacity for it. So that's why the addict is here, because you're needing to confront these behaviors that hold authority over your spirit. And with this judgment, it's time to make a judgment call. It's time to decide whether you're going to go all in on something and all in on what you love, or if you're going to keep holding yourself back and essentially you're going to just, you know, wither away. So really your inner child is emphasizing big time just how important it is for you to trust in, you know, literally the firefly. Trust in your inner child. Trust in this feeling that you've always had, and the knowing that your inner child had, that I wanted to be a famous musician, or I wanted to be a famous whatever. There is something that you wanted then that you still want now, and it might look physically a little bit different, but it's the same shit with a different smell. So trust that this is the path and listen to it. We also have the moth, change and dreams. So it's really about taking flight. It's really about going on an adventure. All three of these are insects. So, you know, this is about making subtle, small moves and subtle, small changes that are going to bring great change, big success. But it's doing it, you know, it's not doing it overnight. It's doing it slowly. It's doing it in a way that brings, you know, slow progress instead of just immediate gratification. I feel like that there's a problem with immediate gratification. And at this point, the more you realize that life, anything worthwhile takes time, and that anything worth anything is hard work and it's effort, the more you realize that, the more you're really going to start to feel joyful in the expression of actually going towards these dreams. So there's a lot of changes that your inner child is asking you to make, and those changes really come around allowing yourself to actually have your own authority, to actually have yourself, or to give yourself a break, and to give yourself an opportunity to finally stop having to run on this hamster wheel towards things that don't fucking fulfill you. Okay, so I'm going to leave this reading there. I'm sorry for the mix-up and the camera change, but I love you guys. I'd like to thank your angels, your ancestors, your higher self, your spirit guides, all the beautiful benevolent beings that are surrounding you and I in all moments, for allowing me to receive and to deliver this message to you. And in particular, a big thank you to your inner child. If you would like to book a personal tarot or astrology reading with me, you can do that through the link down below. Make sure you check out your channeled songs. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a like, because it helps to spread these readings to more beautiful souls. Make sure you check out, did I just tell you that? I'm telling you again, check out your channeled song. There was 2 messages, so make sure you check out that song. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Peace.